Hi, everyone. Welcome to A New View. I'm Kim, and I'm here with Shira, Lee, and Juji. We are four friends, speakers, and professionals from different cultures, backgrounds, and age groups coming together to offer healing and inspiration. Today, we are going to discuss all the benefits of having a morning ritual. So ladies, who wants to start us off?
I will. Oh gosh, morning rituals. There are, I feel like, so many morning rituals, and you just, not enough hours in a day. But for myself, my morning rituals have evolved and changed. And, there are a couple of things, particularly for me, that I've been doing kind of religiously for about 2 to 3 years now. Since I kind of started with morning rituals that I am a lot more conscious of and more intentional about. And one of them is meditation. I usually do a short meditation. Well, sometimes it's a little longer, but a 20-minute meditation or so. Sometimes it's only 15 minutes, and sometimes I go a little bit longer, but I feel that helps to ground me. And that's usually the first thing I'll do, literally, when I open my eyes. And some of the other rituals that I've gotten, that I've brought on board were affirmations. And these I usually do actually once I leave my house on the way to work. Like, those are my affirmations. But between the meditation and the affirmations, a couple of things. I like to move around. If I don't have time for a workout, I at least take about 5 minutes for a very short workout or a stretch. I want to get my body moving, get my blood flowing. And the newest thing that I try to do now all the time, because it's not always, is to make my bed. I get a sense of accomplishment when I do that. And I mean, I've actually mostly been doing it all the time, but now it's part of my ritual. And
Wait, Lee, you never used to make your bed before?
no, of course I used to make my bed. I used to make my bed a lot, but then I slacked off. And, I live alone now, and it's like, I still would make my bed, but then I started to slack off a little more. And sometimes my bed goes for days without being made, and it's okay. And it's okay. But I actually like when it's made. I like when it's made, and I make myself do it. I intentionally make my bed. And there really is, for such a small, tiny little thing, it gives me such a sense of accomplishment. It's a great way to start the day. And I also wanted to share that a quote by Tony Robbins about morning rituals. He says that if you don't have 10 minutes in the morning for yourself, you don't have a life.
Ooh, that's
so powerful. Yeah, it is. It is. Think about it. So many people they get up, shower, whatever, get right out, and they start the wheels start turning in the head, and the rest of the day is set up with all of that craziness and chaos. If you're working, if you're stressed, whatever you've got going on. But
that's also a Joe Dispenza thing. He talks about how, like, people just jump into their day without any thought, anything. And then and people wonder why it's just like the same thing over and over and over and over again. It's like,
yeah,
what do you expect?
Right. Exactly.
I feel like that was kind of a badge of honor when I lived in New York, like the spring out of bed, shower, makeup, out the door, like coffee on the way to work, like grab a, bagel or something. Or like when I was healthier, I would grab like a oatmeal instead of a bagel. But like, that was pretty standard in terms of like the hectic commute to work, where everybody's just like flooding the subways. And, I felt like, I don't know, like something out of a movie, like Devil Wears Prada.
I was just gonna say
Devil Wears Prada. Like, they romanticize that so much, but like it's really jarring. It's really jarring to be confronted with that many people without any sort of like, I don't know, like intention for the day, any sort of grounding. So I feel like one of the like biggest gifts of no longer being in that grind is the fact that I get up, make my bed. I do like my water with chlorophyll, then I do my smoothie with the green powder and the collagen, and then I make my coffee and I smudge my home. I do like breath work meditation. I don't know if that like, there's no guided or anything. It's just like, actually, we had a guest on, Sylvia, who asked if we would do like a little breath work before we started our episode. And the breath that she took us through really spoke to me. So I've kept that up ever since. The 4 counts in, and then this hold for 7, and then the release.
Release for 8, right?
Oh,
Release for 8.
maybe.
Yeah,
I just really-
usually the release is longer.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then I usually do a gratitude, and sometimes I pull a card from my Oracle deck. And, you know, I like also just added a little bit of like stretching and yoga to this routine. And yeah, it takes a while, but it's like such an important part of getting yourself ready to be your best self for the rest of the day. Because I just remember when it was so chaotic and when I was so like on the go, like the day would fly by and I would be like, what just happened? There was no ease, there was no flow, there was no nothing. It was just like one thing after another. And it, you know, I feel like that's part of where like anxiety comes from, you know, like I had a lot of anxiety, and I'm not saying that I don't anymore. In fact, if I wake up with anxiety, then my morning routine needs to be longer. Then I know that I need to like do more breath work, or it's time for a walk, or like watering my plants, or like whatever it is. Because there's no like, you can't like just bulldoze your way through anxiety. You need to sort of like slowly dispel it, if you will.
Yeah,
Oh my
totally.
God, I absolutely love that, Juge. And even just some of the things you said just stirred up some things for me, like some people who might want to start a morning routine might use that same like, all right, I got to get through the morning routine thing so I could start my day. And it's like, no. The way to look at it is to look forward to the time that you spend with yourself. And that might take some getting used to, but like, I promise when you do that, when you're like, you know what, this is time for me and I'm not going to rush it. And by the way, if you do 5 minutes intentionally, it's better than doing 15 or 20 minutes in a rush. That's the truth. But just something to look forward to. And the other thing I remember is there's a man named Brendan Burchard that does a lot of like marketing, personal development stuff. He has like a crazy story. He almost died in a car accident, blah, blah, blah. But I remember something he said is when you jump into your day like that and you're checking emails and you're basically putting yourself into other people's agenda as opposed to your own. It's like, well, no, hold on. What's my life about? What do I want my life to be about? You're just jumping, you're answering emails and texts, and that's their agenda. Doesn't have to be your agenda. I just really like that. So I very much look forward to my morning routine. Mine's a little bit more extreme on the meditation, because when I wake up, before I even go to the bathroom, I literally like open up the shades, turn the light on in the room, and get my eye patch. So there's just like a lot of light, but then I block it out with my patch. And so it's super dark. I get very, very internal, like I just go deep inside. I use a I don't use a guided speaking meditation, but for the last few years, I've been using this music playlist that I found on Spotify that just has little chapters to it of different things that I do, whether it's like going deeper or doing a gratitude thing or a release. I just kind of do my own thing there. But there's this one piece of music that, and this is why I turn all the lights on and open the shades, because with the patch, it's super dark. But when it gets to this piece of music that's absolutely stunning and gorgeous and celestial, and it's like the Lord is in the room, I just take the patch off and all of this light just floods into I can't even explain to you how majestic and holy shit it is. Like
That
every
sounds
day when I
profound.
do
You know,
it.
and I was just gonna ask you, why open the blinds and the shades if you put your patch on, but that
That's
explains
why.
it.
Get like a real darkening eye patch so that when you put it on, you're just like, oh my God, I'm in outer space. And then when this piece of music comes on, I just take it off. And then I actually just listen to it for that one piece of music because I'm all about the music. And then after that piece ends, I put it back on. And that's when I get into my gratitude and the tears come and it's just this cleansing. And recently I started this other really bizarre, you're all going to probably disown me, but I started this really bizarre right after the gratitude part. There's this piece of music that just it sounds like a babbling brook. It's just like water. And I literally picture like, you know how the people who like squeegee your car, like they suds it up and then they squeegee it off. I picture that being done in here. And it's just like,
Oh, that's so cool.
I'm just
I love
cleaning
that.
it out.
Yeah.
Literally, like the water's just bad. Like I'm listening to the water and I'm just like, oh yeah, suds, it's cleaned out. And
Yeah.
ready
That's
to
awesome.
start the day.
I love it. I've used that as a visualization also, not with a
You have?
squeegee though, not with a squeegee, but I almost imagine almost like a car wash type of feel
Yeah.
that's going through my body with like things turning and twisting and rotating with suds and water washing through literally from my head all the way to my toes.
I
And
love that. Great minds.
such a great visualization. Yeah.
Oh my God.
And that's
you
what
guys
it's all
sound-
about. And the
you guys-
depth of your meditations, I mean, they sound pretty profound. I have not had such profound experiences. I've had experiences where when I was done, I have definitely felt more grounded and more relaxed, but I'm waiting for that
Well,
Lord in the room.
yeah, well, there's one thing that I thought I was just doing it because when I first started to meditate, and by the way, this morning ritual of meditation, I've been meditating for 22 years, but I never was consistent with it. And I would say in the last probably 5.5 years, I have not missed one day, and I will never miss a day. And Adi knows that. Like he just know, oh, you're going to meditate? Okay, I'll leave you alone now. But 30 to 40 minutes every morning before I get out of bed. And it is just because I have this playlist and I just listen to it. And it's funny because I never really considered myself like a structured. I have discipline when it comes to certain things, but the structure of it, I realize I need that. I like that. I like feeling disciplined. I like that I don't miss a day. I like it. It's just, it's like a confidence booster. But I was just going to say one other thing about my meditation. I can't remember, but that's basically, I mean, because I do it pretty long. Yoga has now started. That's more of an evening thing. But one last thing I wanted to say, and that is that for whoever's listening, like if you can't fit like a substantive, working moms, whatever, if you can't fit something substantive in the morning, like spread it throughout the day. Like you can do 2 10-minute meditations or 2 5-minute meditate. There's no one on planet Earth that doesn't have 5 minutes. It's just not the case.
Yeah, and I want to add to that it's not just about doing something.
Right.
Even taking carve the 5 minutes and just do it, you won't regret it. You need to get something out of it. You need to see and feel a result. You need to feel something,
But not right away though.
Find your niche, right? Maybe not right away. And maybe it's yoga poses, maybe it's stretching, maybe it's breathing, maybe it's not meditating,
Right.
So it's finding something that makes it could be a run. People go out and run in the morning and that's a great routine for them. But When you
Yeah.
get the results and you have like a good feel, there's nothing like endorphins and oxytocin,
It's-
like going through
it's-
your body.
It's unbelievable. It's like why we're here. It really makes you feel alive. I know that sounds so like corny and stuff, but it just makes you feel like you're this living, breathing, alive thing in the planet. You know, like we're only here for a short time. Like you have to experience that being alive piece. It's just awesome.
And that connection to yourself, where when you have all that other stuff pouring in and you're taking care of everything else for everybody, like
Yeah.
you're not connected to you and who you really are. Speaking of working moms, my sister used to get up at 5 a.m. just to be able to shower before having to get her two kids up, get them fed, dressed, school, her go to her job. Like I used to look at her like, I just can't, I don't know how she did it, because 5 a.m. is so early. And then her whole morning is not about her, and it can't be. So, and then she was a teacher, so she would get to school and then it was all about her students. It's like, it's always about others.
Mhm.
So I used to say to her, you know, when you have that shower at 5 a.m. and said, just take 2 minutes and just close your eyes and make the water hotter, and just close your eyes and just feel the water for 2 minutes. Like if
It's a
that's your
good
morning time,
combination of things, right?
yeah, because I mean, she didn't have time to sit and enjoy her coffee. So like, that was it for her for the morning. And I used to be like, if that's all you got, take it, you know? But you know, I remember I used to work an hour, almost 2 hours from where I lived when I was living in New York. So I would commute, and I was so disappointed that I didn't have morning time, because I'd get up at 6 just to be able to get to the train by 7:15, and then I'm on the train, and then I'm at work, and da, 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 da. So I used to make it a point to, like, if I was on the train, I would listen to music and just let my mind, you know, I swear it would bring such clarity to me when I wouldn't even listen to videos. I would just try to quiet everything, not listen to the people, put my earbuds in, and just take the time and space I needed to like mentally prepare for what was coming for the day. And it really, just like you said earlier, Lee, it like grounds you. And for me, it really mentally and emotionally and physically, all of them, like just prepares me for what's about to come. So now I can handle it so much better. But I remember one morning, I used to be, I mean, my goal is to be present as much as possible. And I remember one morning, I used to always bring a nice hot beverage with me and stand on the tracks with all the people, right? It was like packed. And I would just really be present with my tea or my coffee, and I would just smell it and I would sip it, and I would just look forward to this hour-long train ride where I could close my eyes and relax. No one's calling me. I don't have to be on the computer, right? And I'm standing there on the tracks, and I'm surrounded by people. And all of a sudden, this like beautiful synchronistic circle of birds just is flying in front of my face in a circle over and over and over. And I'm looking up, like, I can't even believe what I'm seeing. It was clearly they were trying to get our attention. I swear to you. And I'm just like this. And then I'm like this. Like, is anybody else seeing this? Everybody was like either looking down or like looking straight, zombie, not awake, like just not there, you know? And I'm like this, like, seriously? I'm alone looking like this? It was bananas what unfolded in front of me that day. It was
I
like
feel like-
artwork.
Yeah,
It
I
was
think-
artwork in the sky. It was artwork. in
Sounds
the
like
sky.
you also are in the frame of mind to like stop and smell the roses. You noticed the nature around you when you were on a train platform. And kudos to you, because before I moved to Florida, I was working in New York City, and I would take the train and the subways. And I needed to make more time in the morning before I left the house and got onto the train or even the platform. As soon as I would be on that train, I was on my phone and I was on social media, and then they're making the announcements for every stop. And then, you know, who's going to be sitting next to me, and it's in and out. And I could not be in that state of mind like you were. I tried. There were times where I would do breathing exercises and things like that, but
And I
Yeah,
would
I-
switch it up too, but I really tried to take advantage of that time because it was the only time. And then, the second the doors open, it's like chaos,
yeah.
But now that I work from home, when I go on walks in the morning, always, even if I can only squeeze in 15 minutes because maybe my calls are starting earlier or whatever. But no matter what, like now I'll definitely like, I'll leave messages for you guys with my gratitude or my affirmations. And I'll take the time to look at the nature, right? So like with the birds on the platform, that was the only time I had really, where now I'll go for a walk and I'll take in nature and I'll really look at all the flowers and the trees and whatever. And I'll just try to be present really, because it just is so calming for me. It's so necessary for me because once work starts, I just, between all the millions of phone calls and emails and trying to keep up all day, it's like, it's just my safe place almost. And like you share what you were saying earlier, I know we all look forward to it. Like I look so forward to that when I get up. It's not something on my to-do list. If anything, if I just cannot find the time, like sometimes I work with people in other countries and they have to call me at 7 a.m. and then boom, I have the call and my day has started. Like that's happening more lately. And, when I don't get to like have that time, I really feel a difference in my day.
Yeah.
No joke, hands
Yeah.
down, I feel a difference. So, but like you said, Shira, like 1 minute, 5 minutes, something, I think Lee, you said it, like just something just that makes you feel good even.
Yeah. So on that note, I want to share a quick something also. The late Steve Jobs, right? So he had a very, very simple yet very powerful morning routine. And it was that he would get up. I think it was something like he would shower, get ready for work, eat breakfast, but he would look at himself in the mirror. And this was the powerful part. He would look at himself in the mirror and say, if this was the last day of your life, would you be happy with what you are about to do today? That's it. And he would do this every day. And so think about how profound that is. Think about how, like, if you are carrying this question with you before you head out for your day, it's likely to cause you to really either be a little bit more intentional maybe with your day, or, I feel like we would find our priorities a little bit better. I feel like.
Lee, I love that so much. And I have to tell you that in my meditation, there is a section where I literally say the words, what if today were my last day and I had to say goodbye to everybody that I loved? I'm getting teary just thinking about it. And then I say, thank you for this day. It's just so short, but I literally picture how many people do we know whose lives were cut short? Like, we don't freaking know anything.
No.
So just having that gratitude. Thank you for telling us that. I didn't know that.
Oh, I love that so much, ladies. I feel like this is a really awesome place to wrap. Well, thank you guys so much for listening and watching. If you've enjoyed our conversation, please subscribe to our channel and let us know if you have any topic requests or questions by commenting below. We will see you soon. Thanks again.